Yeah, let's talk about sports, baby. Huh? From the stands of a sports fan, my man. So let's get into it. First and foremost, starting off with the NBA. So we getting down to the wire with the NBA. It's only about 7 or 8 games left in the regular season. And then we're going to slide into the SoFi NBA play-in tournament. April 16th through April 19th. Which looks a little bit different depending on what day of the week it is, essentially. But the only updates that we have essentially in the Western Conference, the Thunder, OKC Thunder clinched playoff berth and reclaimed #1 with victory over the Knicks recently. The Nuggets overpower the Cavaliers, secured their postseason berth and climb into second place in the Western Conference Finals, or Western Conference, as to say. The Timberwolves fall from first to third since they lost to the Bulls. Something to think about right there. Clippers beat the Hornets to maintain a 2-game lead over the Mavericks at #4. Then the Mavericks win their 7th straight game, moving past Pelicans into 5th with a tiebreaker. The Kings, Sacramento Kings, they jump over the Suns for #7 via tiebreaker following their win against the Utah Jazz. The Lakers cruise past the Nets to remain a game and a half behind the Kings, and the Suns are in 9th place. The Warriors maintain a 1.5 game deficit behind the Lakers in 10th with victory over the Spurs most recently. And then the Rockets, they had a 11-game win streak, but that got snapped by the Mavericks, man, falling 2 games behind the Warriors. So it looks like the Warriors, the Lakers, the Suns, and who is that at #9? I got to get #9, but that's pretty much the play-in tournament. The Warriors, the Lakers, the Suns, and I'll get the other team for you. But, okay, so those are probably at least 3 teams that we expected to be a little bit further into the season. In Sacramento, excuse me. So the Golden State, Lakers, Sacramento, and Phoenix are all in the play-in tournament from the West as of 7 or 8 games left in the season right now. That looks like that's probably going to be solidified, more than likely. There may be some shifts. Maybe somebody could go on some streaks. But other than that, that's essentially what the West is looking like. So that was 10 through 7. Then #6 is the Pelicans, 5 Dallas, 4 Clippers, 3 Minnesota, and we already said 2 is the Nuggets. And #1, shout out to the Thunder. Them young boys getting it done out there in the West, boy. And OKC. Moving on to the East real quick, though, man. Unfortunately, my Pistons officially eliminated from playoff contention, as well as Washington Wizards, Charlotte Hornets, and Toronto Raptors. Dang, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate now to think about that. But anyway, so that just leaves in the play-in tournament and everything else. The Cavaliers recently lost to the Nuggets, falling 2.5 games behind the Bucks, who are in 3rd. No, I'm sorry. Cleveland is in 3rd. The Knicks remain a half game behind Cleveland at #4 after home loss to Thunder. Heat dominate the Wizards, climbing within a half game of the Pacers for 6. 76ers remain a 4-game lead over the Bulls at #8 with rout of Raptors. I didn't write that myself. Bullets. I'm old as hell. Bulls upset Timberwolves, increasing lead over Hawks for 9th to 1.5 games. So essentially what that breaks down to in the East: Atlanta #10, Chicago #9, Philly #8, Miami #7. That's all in the play-in tournament as of right now. Atlanta, they gonna get up out of there. Chicago, I don't know what they got going on, but shout out to them. Philly ain't got Joel Embiid, but he should be coming back. That's what they saying this week. That should change the course of a few things if that's the case. Then Miami #7. Jimmy Buckets. I don't know what's going on down there, man. But he usually shows up in the playoff. Then #6 in the East, Indiana. 5, Orlando. 4, New York. 3, Cleveland. 2, Milwaukee. And Boston #1. Officially clinched, by the way. All officially clinched, by the way. 4, 7, 8 games left. Of course they clinched. So, pause. No diddy. But anyway, that's essentially what we're looking at right now. Anything can happen in these playoffs, man. I think when the playoffs start to roll and we get a few games within the series, we can probably start judging how some of these teams are going to be a little bit more. It's still technically the regular season, so the gameplay is going to change up a little bit. But teams are playing hard. No diddy. So other than that, let me know what your predictions are for the East and the West Conference. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show. 313-466-4386. Switching it. Yeah. I'm excited to talk about this, man. The season officially started for the UFL. UFL season officially started as of May 30th. Couple games kicked off. I was fortunate enough to watch a few. Birmingham Stallions and the Arlington Renegades. They actually played the annual inaugural game of the UFL officially, or whatever you want to call it. So here's how it went. The Stallions basically dominated all game. The Renegades made it good by at least putting up some numbers, but Stallions just dominated, man. So shout out to the Stallions, Birmingham, Alabama, for continuing their win. Won the USFL championship at least 2 years, I believe. And, you know, actually come with this win to start off the season. The Michigan Panthers playing at Ford Field against the St. Louis Battlehawks. The Panthers actually won 18-16 in a very interesting game, by the way. A great back and forth battle, essentially. It came down to the last minute, dog. Battlehawks ended up scoring a touchdown, bro. I'm talking about last minute, bro. Like, last couple minutes, minute and a half, whatever the case may be. Scored a touchdown. We like, oh my God, looking like the Lions right now giving this up. By the way, the quarterback for the Michigan Panthers had like 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and no passing touchdowns. It's kind of weird. But anyway, they end up getting a touchdown at the end. But Michigan Panthers, they were only down by what? 1 point or something like that. Came down, not even on the opposite side of the field, the opponent's side, on their own side of the field, at like the 54 of their own side of the field, the opposite side of midfield, kick a 64-yard field goal for it to go in, bro. Oh my God, when I saw that, I said, what? Now that's what you want to see in the UFL. You want to see stuff that we ain't even seen in the NFL type stuff, and you want to have good rules there. I ain't explored the rules yet. There's a few things that I noticed. I can't remember, but I'll talk about it as we explore a little bit more as the season continues to go. Other than that, I'm liking the UFL right now. I'm liking the UFL. That was a really good game, man. 64-yard field goal from the Michigan Panthers, who got the win against the Battlehawks, man. Then Sunday over the weekend, you had the Brahmas against the Defenders. They won 27-12, and then the Showboats against the Roughnecks. That was a pretty decent game too. Brahmas beat the Defenders 27-12, so that is what it is. Week 2 coming up, man. This upcoming weekend, Saturday and Sunday, April 6th, Saturday, the Brahmas of San Antonio against Memphis Showboats at noon, and then the Arlington Renegades against the Battlehawks at 8 p.m. Sunday at 7, Sunday, April 7th, excuse me. Birmingham Stallions against my Michigan Panthers. I guess that's my squad now. My Michigan Panthers against the against Birmingham Stallions. And then Houston Roughnecks at DC Defenders, Sunday at 4 p.m. Interesting. So let me know who you got if you kept up with UFL. I told you I would, and I'm glad I did, man. It's been very interesting nonetheless so far. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat and them comments and call into the show. 313-466-4386. We about to switch it up, man. Let me see. I gotta do something real quick. 386. Let somebody call in, man. See if somebody watching the show ready to call in. Talk about some basketball, man. College basketball, what's going on right now. So essentially, NCAA March Madness tournament is going on for the men's and women's, and they are both very exciting. Let me just break down the men's real quick. So we're down to the Final Four with the men's. UConn versus Alabama Saturday. NC State as in North Carolina State versus Purdue. Some names, some schools you ain't heard in a long time, if ever. So Alabama, how they got here? They actually got to the Final Four for the first time in school history, dog. They got a big upset over UNC, which was anticipated to be the #1 school in the whole March Madness, and they upset them in the Sweet 16. So they beat Grand Canyon, UNC, then they recently beat Clemson in the Sweet 16, or I should say in the Elite 8, to get here to the Final Four. Shout out to Alabama, dog, first and foremost. Then UConn, to get to the Final Four, they beat Northwestern. Then they beat San Diego in the Sweet 16 and Illinois in the Elite 8. Not really no competitive schools to my not to discredit anybody, but I wouldn't call them like real competitive schools. UConn. Alabama beating UNC and Clemson. Now that's something to note. That's something to note. Then you got NC State, North Carolina State versus Purdue. North Carolina State got that big ass Zach Randolph looking ass dude, DJ Burns Jr. And then Purdue got that big ass dude, Zach Edey. Oh, I can't wait, bro. Oh, I can't wait to see this game Saturday, April 6th. Two big ass dudes going back at it. Pause. No diddy. Purdue hasn't been to the Final Four since 1980. NC State ain't been to the Final Four since 1983, when they actually won the whole thing, by the way. But Purdue, how they got there, they ended up beating Utah State, Gonzaga, and Tennessee. Gonzaga, Tennessee, some key wins for them. But they beat Tennessee. Zach Edey had 40. 16 rebounds, 1 assist. Oh, my God. They putting up 40 in these college games like it's nothing now, bro. Then NC State, they upset Duke. Nobody expected them to beat Duke. They got here by beating Oakland, hometown team in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Sorry, but they got them up out of there. They beat Marquette, and then they beat Duke. Marquette and Duke, some key wins, man. So I think NC State got some great wins. DJ Burns, big nigga, bro. 29, 4, and 3. 29 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Went off. Did what he had to do, man. Then they got another DJ Horn. He went off for like 20 points, too. Bro, it's crazy, man. I'm loving this. And this is the matchup I wanted to see with DJ Burns and Zach Edey. Them some big-ass dudes, bro. Paul. I can't wait to see them in the league, too. DJ Burns Jr., he might have potential to be the next Shaq, bro. He has that potential, bro, but I don't want to speak too early. But if I had to make my predictions, all right, so I do what I think is going to happen and then what I want to happen. What I think is going to happen is UConn going to beat Alabama, and I see, wow, that Purdue NC State could go anyway, but I see Purdue beating NC State. So UConn and Purdue in the championship, and then possibly UConn winning. That's what I maybe think, just based off, I don't even know. But here's what I want to happen. Alabama upsetting UConn. Man, I want NC State to win. I want NC State to win. I want NC State to Alabama in the championship because there's some 2 underdogs, bro. And then I'll probably take NC State to win it. I'll take NC State to win it. I ain't even gonna lie. That's why I want to win it at this point. Shout out to DJ Burns Jr., bro. That's just what I think, man. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show 313-466-4386. Moving on to the women's side of things. Women moving on to the Final Four, essentially. Let me see if we have a final score for the UConn and USC game. Oh my God, they still ain't doing no real update. 55-51 right now. UConn has the lead in the third quarter with 9 minutes left. So we don't know if we're going to get the results by the end of this show right here, but this is what I will say. As of right now, we got NC State on the women's side against South Carolina. I think that's going to be very, very good. I haven't even seen women's in NC State, but I think that's nice that the women and the men NC State both made it to the Final Four. Then you got LSU versus Iowa. Let's break down that game, man. Very highly anticipated game between Caitlin Clark of Iowa against Angel Reese and Flau'jae Johnson of LSU. Now, LSU took the L today, 87-94. So, Caitlin Clark, Iowa, they continue to go towards the Final Four. Congratulations to Caitlin Clark. Is she the GOAT? That's what we want to ask. And what went wrong in that game? Here's what I'm going to say. In the first quarter, it definitely showed that offense sells tickets, defense wins games, rebounds wins championships. Because LSU had the lead based off their defense and their rebounding. Second, third, fourth quarter, completely different game. Caitlin Clark, Iowa, turned it up. Now, I will say in the second quarter, ending the first half, it was tied up. So it was pretty even. But that was coming from Iowa being in a deficit. So Iowa picked up the momentum. LSU kind of kept their momentum the same, if you want to say. Because LSU didn't pick up that momentum that they had in the first quarter, ending off in the second half. And Iowa just ended up turning it up. Caitlin Clark had like 41, 42 points, bro. Something crazy. Putting up 40 plus. She's only like 30-something away from this other D1 single-season record or something like that. 80, like she had 80 going into this game. Now she's like 30-something points away, which she'll more than likely get in this next game. Is Caitlin Clark the GOAT of college basketball? We might as well give it to her. Statistics show it. Now, she does have a three-point line. Don't get me wrong. But if we take the three-point line away, and that extra point from all the threes she made, would she still be somewhere up there? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Now, we're not talking about no defense that she may or may not play. We're talking about strictly offense with the points. And with that being said, she might be the greatest college basketball player ever, men and women. I'm going to go in there and say that. Now, we can't say that because she ain't played no men. But based off scores and statistics, maybe. Other than that, I don't think I necessarily want to give her best player ever, especially with the men's. Like the women's basketball, I heard somebody say this before, y'all game don't go above the rim. So men's going to always be dominant in that factor. But other than that, shout out to Caitlin Clark doing her thing, man. Moving forward to the Final Four in the women's NCAA tournament. Then right now we currently have USC with Juju Watkins and UConn with that other girl. I forgot her name, man. But they currently playing right now to see who also continues to go into the Final Four. Right now, UConn has the lead in the fourth quarter, 59-56. It's coming down to the wire. It's going to be a nail-biter. It's going to be very, very interesting. That game probably be over in another 10 minutes or whatever the case may be. But Final Four, man. NC State for the women. South Carolina. NC State versus South Carolina. Then we got Iowa versus the winner of USC or UConn. It could be UConn, but I'm hoping for USC, man. Shout out to Juju Watkins. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show 313-466-4386. Other than that, just speaking on college hoops real quick, women's college hoops. It's a three-point line. I don't know if you heard about this news for the women's NCAA tournament at Moda Center. They had a discrepancy for the distance at each of the court. It went unnoticed for 4 games. Nobody noticed it, or at least nobody said anything until right before the Texas and North Carolina State game. They were notified of the problem, so then they brought out measuring tapes to tape it out. Turns out on one end of the court, at the top of the key, it was like 6 to 9 inches short. 6 to 9 inches shorter than the other one. Or maybe it was longer, excuse me. Yeah, it was closer to the basket. 6 to 8 inches closer to the basket than on the opposite floor. With that being said, some people are like, that ain't gonna make no difference. Now, this is only statistics. These are statistics that we got, with that being said. Through 5 games, including Texas and North Carolina State, teams shooting on the end with the closer three-point arc shot 25.8% on threes, which is 23 out of 89 three-pointers from the closer three-point arc. At the end of the floor, that was correct. Teams shot 33.3%, 29 out of 87. So they shot better when it was further away. It's actually supposed to be 22 feet, 1 3/4 of an inch. This is for both men and women, by the way, just in case you didn't know that. So one of them was like 23 feet and a couple inches, if that. No diddy. And apparently they weren't even making no shots like that. So wow, it seems like You would think that would give them an advantage, but statistically speaking, it did not, according to this. So, Connor Sports is the vendor, the third-party vendor, who they actually contracted to do this work for the floors, to make the March Madness floors for both men and women. Connor Sports, they apologized, put out some statements, made it right, blah, blah, blah. Will they continue to have their contract next season? We'll see. Who knows? It's an honest mistake. Nobody caught it. That's the main thing. Nobody caught it, bro. That's crazy. But anyway, we'll see how that goes, man. Let me know what you think. Does that change the course of all the action out of those 5 games that happened on that court? Does Texas blame the court now that they took a L? Hell no, you can't blame the court because you literally decided to take that on. Y'all both agreed to continue to play. But other than that, what I want to say is, hey man, they changed the sides at halftime, so let's just call it even. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show 313-466-4386. What I got for this? Oh, I ain't got nothing for this. All right, so other than that, man, just talking about boxing real quick, if you don't mind. Devin Haney fights Ryan Garcia April 20th. That's a Saturday. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk on May 18th. And Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul right here, man. Jake Paul 27, Mike Tyson 58. Well, he will be 58 in June. A disgrace to boxing, to me, if you ask me personally. It's only for their personal money. They think they're doing us a favor by giving us this fight. We want to see somebody head chopped off. And Mike, you too old to be fighting technically. So if Jake does knock your head off, it's technically like beating up an elder. And then Mike, if you knock his head off, which we all feel like we know you're capable of, then it's like you shouldn't have did that, Mike. You shouldn't have did that little boy like that. So that's why I feel like with that realization, we all know this is a BS fight. It's almost staged, bro. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think. What are your predictions? Go off in the live chat in the comments and call into the show 313-466-4386. About to go ahead and get up out of here, man. So do me a favor. Kick it with KCMC on all social media at KIWKCMC. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all that at KIWKCMC. That's just the abbreviations for Kick It with KCMC. And show some love to my sponsor, man, Team Elite. They on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, also at TEAMELITE 313. That's Team Elite 313. And check out their premium casual urban wear t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, tech fleece, jogger sets, varsity sets, and more. It's all on their website, teamelite313.com. Ask your mom, baby. Appreciate you for kicking with Casey. If you got this far in the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the alert so you know when we're going live. If you got a couple dollars, donate to the show so we can grow, but we ain't begging though. Other than that, share the content, tell a friend to tell a friend. Check out my singles, Juice and Hands and Knees, featuring my dog, Techmatic. All in the link in the description below. Other than that, show some love, man. We out for the night.